Welcome to Audio Entertainment YouTube, new series of entertainment. In a small town enveloped in grief, three desperate men hatched a plan to rob the local grocery store. Shadows loomed over their hearts, burdened by loss and driven by a sense of hopelessness. Two men in casual clothes stood at the back entrance of the grocery store. One made a phone call, saying they're at the door. Moments later, a man in a work uniform, labeled Mom and Pop's One Shop, opened the door for them. Inside, he informed them there were only 6 people in the store, 1 guard at the front, a manager in the office, and 4 associates on the floor, leaving him at the cash register. He pointed out where the associates were before heading back to his station. Once he was gone, the 2 men pulled ropes from their bags and began going around to tie up associates one by one. One of them encountered the manager just as she was leaving the restroom. She informed him that the store wouldn't open for 10 more minutes and questioned how he got in. He looked sincere as he said, "I apologized. I needed to use the restroom. I pleaded with the security guard to let me in to use the restroom, and after a moment of hesitation, he finally relented." "I'm sorry," she replied, "but there's no one supposed to be in the store right now, so you'll have to wait." Still confused, she insisted he follow her to the front, aware that no one should be there. As they moved closer to the guard, panic surged through him. With no clear escape, he gripped his weapon, prepared to fight if necessary. Approaching the front of the store, he slowly began to draw his gun, just as she was about to confirm his story with the security guard. A homeless man began banging on the window, yelling, "They're coming! They're coming! Oh my! They're already here! You're all going to die!" She pointed to the window, urging the security guard to de-escalate the situation and remove the man from in front of the store. The guard nodded and stepped outside, leaving the trespasser relieved that the manager was no longer focused on verifying his story with the guard. When the security guard returned, she greeted him at the door, asking, "Is everything good, Joe?" He replied, "Yeah, I told him a crazy tale about being part of Area 51 and protecting the store." She chuckled, noticing people approaching. Glancing at her watch, she realized time had slipped away. It was time to open the store, so she opened the door. A CPS worker and 2 kids, Stacy and Pat, entered, along with several other shoppers. The cashier greeted them, but soon received a text that read there were too many hostages, and they needed to take control. Looking around, he instructed, "Take care of the security guard, and I'll head to the back to manually shut down the lockup doors." As the security shutters began to close, panic erupted in the store. People rushed toward the front door in a frantic scramble. Meanwhile, the security guard headed toward the back to investigate, but was quickly halted by a shot fired into the air. A man shouted for everyone to calm down, brandishing a gun and threatening anyone who moved. He ordered the terrified crowd to stay still and assured them that compliance would keep them alive. Targeting the security guard, he commanded him to gather everyone and fetch the manager from the office, warning against any funny business. Reluctantly, the security guard complied, but tensions were rising, and trouble was brewing. Joe began searching the store for hostages. He approached the family, saying, "Hey, I need you all to come to the front." The father quickly turned, standing protectively in front of his frightened family. The security guard raised his hands and said, "I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to ensure everyone gets out alive. I need to take your wife and daughter up front, and you and your son should find other men to help us regain control." The father hesitated, responding, "No, I'm not leaving. We're sticking together." Joe replied urgently, "If I don't start taking people up front, we're all going to die. You can't protect them without a weapon or a plan. This is our best chance." The man's wife stepped in and took his hand, looking into his eyes as she said, "It's okay. We're all going to be all right. But this is the best plan we have." She cupped her son's face, telling him she loved him, then kissed his forehead. She reached for her daughter, who followed her, and the security guard handed the father his ankle gun. "Do you know how to use one of those?" the guard asked. "Yeah, I have a pretty decent shot," he replied. She looked back one last time and urged him, "Please don't get caught. You are our only chance." They moved toward the front. Meanwhile, at the back of the store, The young girl noticed that the CPS worker, Tom, was involved, pretending to be a victim while discreetly handing over everyone's locations to the robbers. It didn't take long for Stacy to call him out on his actions. She confronted him. "Why are you doing this?" He looked at her, feigning confusion. "What are you talking about?" "Why are you helping them?" "I'm not helping them. I'm helping us. I'm trying to get us out of this situation." "No, you're helping them. You've been checking your phone, and everyone we've had contact with ends up caught. You're telling them where people are." She grabbed a young boy and stepped in front of Pat, protecting him from whatever Tom might do next. Tom scanned the faces of the few people around him, trying to maintain a calm mask as he forced a grin. "Listen," he said, "you don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to protect us. I didn't give up anyone's location. Why would I reveal them at the chance of them revealing mine? Don't you think I'm scared?" He looked around, desperation evident in his eyes. "I don't want to die. I want to get y'all out of here alive. Please, trust me." But Stacy, the young girl, spoke up. "Let me see your phone." "What? Why?" "If you have nothing to hide, you'll show it to me." One of the onlookers picked up a baseball bat, threatening Tom. "If you don't hand over the phone, I'll use this." "Hey, you don't have to do that. I'll show you the phone." Tom reached for his back pocket. "Go slow," came the warning. As Tom slowly pulled out his hand, he revealed a gun instead. "It didn't have to be this way. All you had to do was believe me. Put down the bat," he demanded, pointing the gun at the man. The man obeyed, stepping back into a huddle. "Damn, all you had to do was listen. I wasn't supposed to work today, but my manager called and asked me for a favor. If I didn't go, wouldn't that make me look suspicious? And now I'm stuck with you all. Isn't that heroic?" Nearby, a man hiding saw his chance to escape, but he tripped, drawing Tom's attention. Tom fired, killing him instantly. Amid the chaos, the little girl swung the bat, hitting Tom's hand and then connecting with his chin, knocking him unconscious. The crowd started to flee as she grabbed the young boy's hand, picked up the gun, checked the chamber for bullets, and pocketed any extra ammunition before moving cautiously through the store, on guard. To be continued. Catch Part 2 of The Unseen Fighter 5-part series every week on YouTube at Audio Entertainment 10.